not touched, it means that something tried to come against you. How would you determine that you are unbroken if something did not hit you? Many of us want testimonies, but you are afraid to go through trials and temptations and challenges. How do you want to get to where you want to be? If Jesus didn't die on the cross, there will be no testimony of salvation. Have you not thought about it? If everything went according to plan, if he was not beaten, do you think your healing will be assured? That is how everything in life can be. For you to know that you are unbroken, for you to know that you have resilience, something must have tried to try you. And that is where the story of your resilience, your courage, and your inner strength shows through. To be unbroken sometimes can mean that you bend, but you didn't break. There are variations to these things. When life comes at you, sometimes it can come like a flood. How many of you, I don't know if you've ever thought about, do you know how terrifying it is for somebody to die by drowning? Terrifying. When you are dropped in water, the person has not died, but you will live through the pain of feeling the water fill your lungs till you can no longer, your life is taken out. It feels as if it's unexplainable. How many of you have ever, I don't know if you have ever seen somebody have an asthma attack. It's very terrifying. It just feels as if your breath is taken away. No matter, every mouth you open fills with water. That is how challenges of life can be sometimes. It makes you feel as if you cannot survive. But if you stay resilient, if you allow yourself to let life do what it can, but you dig your own feet into the ground and stand, then you remain unbroken. One of the things that I see women do when challenges come, your first reaction to a challenge is going to determine how the rest of it is for you. Maybe a husband walked out on you, and the first thing is, I am it baje. I always laugh. Nothing would happen. It's just a circumstance that happened. It doesn't determine thereafter. Women are emotional creatures by creation. That is why we take an emotional stance anytime that life happens to us. Your child fell. Mogbe! That mogbe has taken your faith out of the way. Your child just fell. Nothing has happened. But sometimes the pronouncement of your mouth determines what you get. You have not even seen what has happened. You just heard ba. Shoshubuni. Then that becomes your reality. Ladies, when challenges of life come, please stand. You can do. Then he says, stand. Do you know that when you are in crisis, sometimes you are so perturbed, you are all over the place, your emotion is carrying you, that you do not take an assessment of what you are seeing. If you take an assessment of what you are seeing, you will see that it's not as bad as you think it is. This woman that is standing before you, if I tell you the amount of life that has happened to me, Sometimes people will say, Lolo, how can you be fine like this when you have faced so many challenges? But one of the things that I do in my life is I've learned to stand. It's wonderful to celebrate the testimonies of others, but it does you better to learn how they overcame. A lot of women like to, that Ecclesiastes has already said to you that you must know how to follow the seasons of life with every human. Cry with them, laugh with them, celebrate highs, lows, seasons. But you must know, how did they overcome? I asked Sister Bumi, I said, was this a religious gathering only, that is only Christians that are here? And she said, no, this is just a gathering of women from all walks of life. I want to believe so. So that means that you must learn how to stand no matter what. I'll tell you a little story about my own mother. You know, when my mom told me some of these stories, the only thing I wanted to do was look for a big stick and hit her on the head. But mommy, but it wasn't like she had no knowledge. It was the knowledge she knew at that time that she stood with. But we in this generation, we know better. She said when she got married to my father, as they were dancing from the reception in their own time, she said when they got home, you know, they will pour water on your leg to bring you inside. He said, as she came in, she sat down on the chair. He said, my dad just brought a 6-year-old child, girl child, put on her lap, and he prostrated on her wedding day. Is that not something to shake you to your marrow? Imagine you have not removed your wedding gown. You know, in that time, maybe they went to a registry, so she's probably wearing a choke and things. And he prostrated and put a 6-year-old on her lap. He never told her he had a child. He never told her he had been with any other woman. But that was how she said my elder sister was a very sickly child. She said when she first heard that, she first carried her bag and ran back home. And her parent told her that, once you have married, you stay in your husband's house, no matter what you see. So that means she didn't even have any grace to go anywhere. She had to stay there. She said my elder sister was a very sickly child. She said she will back my sister, a 6-year-old child. She said she used to hawk to sell sometimes. So she will back my elder sister. And my mom is shorter than me. Slightly shorter than me. When in her lifetime, she was just about my shoulder. So imagine how short she was. Carrying a 6-year-old and carrying wares on her head. Very challenging. She said my sister would be so sick that she would take my sister all the way to Ijebu-Igbo. I'm from Ijebu-Igbo. To her parents. For them to go and help her care for it. From one medicine man to the other. And you know she just got married. She has not had her own child. She said every time she would think that, I don't want them to say, because I met her at home, that's why I killed her. Because I've not had my own children. Very challenging way to start your life. But she was resilient. She had courage.